Chris Lotz with the Pat Lotz Real Estate Group. Thanks for tuning in again to another Spotlight video here in Brighton, Michigan.
Hi, Pat Lotz here. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, Brittany and Colin, we're gonna dive back into time for a little bit. Let's talk about the origination of the store. And we go back quite a ways. 1993, what was kind of the origination of Mom's vision?
Yeah, so my mother, when I was entering high school, decided she wanted to get back in the workforce. She, of course, being of Persian descent, had grown up around rugs. They had fled. And when she wanted to get back in to doing her own thing, decided to open up a small little spot in what was the Ewing building, back before it was Chalamichi's. So she had a little, probably, I don't know, 125 square foot little space with a couple rugs. And that was kind of the origination of the idea. After that, they moved to the building that was located here before. And they were located there for about 8 years, tore this building down. This building was built in 2001. And then that's really when the business kind of took off and they made a name. What she kind of concentrated on was hand-knotted Oriental rugs. That's where her family history was from, and some light home furnishings. So I, never thinking I would get into the family business whatsoever, had grown up around all of these handmade things. My dad went to school in Japan, so wood blocks, you know, rugs, bronzes, all of this stuff. I grew up around it, moved to New York City, came back. My mom had really bad vertigo and she couldn't handle the business anymore. So I drove her back and forth from work and kind of like helped out as I could a little bit. At that point in time, we're heading into, 2006, 2007. Down here was kind of in a rough patch at that point, as was a lot of Michigan. Yes. And she decided, her vertigo wasn't getting better. It was probably time to like close up shop. And I said to her, well, look, let me have a chance. Let me do something a little bit different. So at that point in time, I had a lot of friends in the arts. I was a music person. That's what I was working in previously. And I had a lot of friends in the arts. And a lot of people didn't have jobs. Downtown Brighton was in a bad situation. I was like, well, I have a business that's kind of on its last legs. I have all these friends that have no income, and what can I do to help out? Buying local and all. It's fairly common now. In 06, 07, no. Not really. Right. So that was the origination. The idea really was like, what is the problem? How can I help? What am I good at? So the store today, you took over in 2011, yeah. And has it been more or less the same idea of artists, lines, keeping it very local and small since 2011, or what's that been of evolution from 2011 to today, if any? It has been a constant kind of evolution, I would say. Other than the four walls, the place doesn't look anything like when it started. Yeah. Your mom knows because she was here like at the beginning.
Now, can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
What was the name of the business with your mom?
It was Heirloom Oriental Rugs.
Got it. Okay, yeah. I didn't remember that.
I mean, just to give you guys a brief, whatever. This was air before, right here. We built this area out. It was a completely open area with a kind of gazebo kind of feel here. Not a gazebo, whatever.
Loft. Got it.
And was this built because you needed it?
We needed it. And so what happened was the evolution of the store over time was, as we moved out of the things my mom had, we moved to things that were a little bit more, you could see the hand in it a little bit. Her stuff was oil paintings. It was more formal, marble pedestal, stuff like that. And I really, I had artist friends that were like making displays for us, right? So it was this constant change as I kind of zoned in on what was our aesthetic and what was Brighton going to let me do, right? It was taking something that Brighton hadn't really had before, and it was like, I had a lot of people that, that's a cool idea, I don't know if you're going to make it. So it was learning as people started coming in and finding the store, and the store evolved as more and more people came in. Yeah. So that was a really interesting period of time, is just kind of learning what were people wanting, and what could I go and find. So finding the artists and finding customers and make it make sense.
Yeah.
So
I think that's not something that business owners always think about. It's a lot of passion-driven things, which is great, and you do have a lot of passion. But how can we bring artists, passion, customers together in one location.
It's 4,000 square feet, so it's a big art. It's a big art store, right? And so, you know, the gap in the market kind of when we moved in is at that point in time, no one was doing gifts that much, right? And I was like, well, you buy a rug once, you never need a rug again. Like, people buy rugs and they last them their whole lives. People need gifts. Okay, what can I do and how can I make that work? And at the beginning, it was like, I just wanted stuff that I thought if I walked in, I could afford. And I was like, oh, well, I can afford like a $25 mug. Like, that's where I was at, right? And then people come in and they're like, oh, wow, that's a really nice gift. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's something I need to work on. Yeah. So I have a lot of experience in retail. I didn't have a lot of experience running my own business. So what I did was everyone that came in, I would talk to, I would learn from, and the business would evolve over the course of time of that. And that, I think, has been, one of the things that has kept us going for years is, you know, you have to constantly evolve.
It's a testament to you guys being here since 1993 in some form or fashion, as if you're not evolving, and over that time, Mom and even you from 2011 have seen a lot of businesses come and go. Yes. If you're not evolving, adapting, and changing to what customers' needs and wants are, you're probably not going to be there for a long time. Yeah. We had a great conversation with Wooden Things down the way. She's been there for a long time. Yeah. She's also evolved a lot of times. Yes. But again, testament to a great business owner, understanding the community itself.
But the fun thing is, too, when I come in the store, I just go, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, you just have really cool things, so I get excited. When I go, oh my gosh, those are just really cool gifts. They're unique. And they always, you know, you always have somebody in mind when you see something that you have, like, that'd be a great gift for this, because it seems more personal.
It is. There's a story behind everything. And when someone comes in, you know, I had a customer yesterday looking for her son's wedding for her new daughter-in-law. And she said, this is the person, this is what she's about. So she tells me about the person. And then we go through the store and find the things that are lined into that person. These are the colors she likes. These are the jewelry she wears. This is her background. And then we go and find the things. So to me, that's the fun part, right? I like that.
Well, you're making moments, though, too. Yes. It's not just a possession, it's not just a gift, but it's a gift with a moment and a memory attached to it, and Artisan's Bench is about that. Yes. Or that's ingrained into that memory.
Well, and the funny thing is, to go back to the name that was my mom's that didn't stick as well, the heirloom quality of it, like, you are buying things that will last a whole lifetime and that people have specific memories. They're not throwaway things. They were made by hand. Someone put a ton of time into it. And like, when I am dead and gone and the store is gone, there will be someone that still finds this item at like an estate sale or at a secondhand store or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. This piece of jewelry was handmade by a person. So, you know, part of being in a business is having legacy. You want to be doing something. You want to give to your community. You want to be part of things. So to me, the fact that we have people that come in and they're very attached to the store and the mission and the things we have, and that we have artists that get to make a living off of it, and I get to be the middle of that, right? Like, that's a great life.
Yeah, what a great opportunity for you. Yeah. You touched on it a second ago, and you said the aesthetic of the store. I want to throw it to Brittany. If you had to kind of condense it into a few sentences, what is that aesthetic that we're going for at Artisan's Bench? Well, probably can't do it in 2 sentences, but if you can, try to.
I mean, I think a lot of it boils down to what Colin said about seeing the hand of the person who made it. It's not necessarily 100% evident in every single thing, but you know, you look at a painting and you see the texture of the paint. You look at a leather journal and you see in your mind how that's going to age over time. You know, in pottery, it's probably the best example because you can literally see the fingerprints of the person who made that mug or that bowl. I think that, and I think we're really I mean, Colin has a very, not a specific aesthetic, but kind of a specific set of parameters. I think material is really important.
Texture.
I
would say it's a mix of high-end, but then very kind of handmade, kind of distressed. I mean, I don't know if it'll be on camera or not, but that tailgate is basically, that is the Artisan's Bench, right? Yeah. Like, that is something that's vintage. You know, it's from the 70s, that's original paint, but then the fit and finish of what he's done to it, right? It is that duality. It's very high-end looking, but then also very, very handmade, kind of rustic looking. So those two combined, which is not, it's not an easy thing to find.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But it fits, it's me, and it fits our community really well. People gravitate towards that.
I think so. That's a great transition to Artisan lines. Just kind of for fun, who's the oldest and who's the newest?
Oh, the oldest. So Man, the oldest would probably be, well, one of them would be Rex Kessler, who is an artist that makes wood cutting boards. He's based in Montague, Michigan, so up north. Met him through my mother-in-law. He went to her pharmacy and got his medicine, and she said, my son-in-law is opening up a store. And so, you know, he's one of the originals I've worked with.
What a way to find an artist, too.
Yeah,
Very
those
serendipity. Yeah.
Right? And so that's probably one of the oldest. One of the newest is we just got an artist in that I've talked to for a little bit of time, but she's out of Grand Rapids, and she makes jewelry. So Sunshine
Day Designs.
Sunshine Day.
Speaking of, a lot of the artists are Michigan made. There's a few that are outsourced outside. We're seeing some paintings right here that we'll showcase that are from Colorado. Yeah. But a good portion of them are from Michigan. Right?
Yeah, so we try to stick, to go back to the bones of the store, trying to keep the money very local is important to me. So we try to make sure that like we are part of the community and it stays cycling in the community as much as possible. If we go outside the state, it has to be something that is really, really different that I can't find around here. So the artist that we're talking about, that's all cut paper collage, really fine detail stuff. He's a friend of mine. I have known him from since I think 2013 we started working together. You know, or we have this artist downstairs that we were talking about earlier that does screen printed enamel on copper and then glass over the top. So like we're talking about people that are like, there is only one, right? Yeah, that's the one of the one, right? So that's when we leave. I will also say in general with the store, we are in the situation, which makes the store unique of we sell ones, right? Many times when something in the store sells, it does not come back again. We have to reinvent the wheel. So that keeps us always evolving and things going, but it also I think is why so many people love the store is like the next time you come in, who knows what you're gonna find next time. And if you get that thing, you know that's the one, there isn't another one of that.
That's the fun.
But it's also as a business owner and a person of finding things, it keeps you on your toes.
That's your full-time job, maybe.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say you don't just have one full-time job; you have 10 full-time jobs.
Yes.
Kind of all of them boiling together and it all figuring itself out. And Sonny's on the corner said the exact same thing. When you come in week to week, month to month, we're gonna have new things. But like you said, that's the really cool thing about this. You never know what you're gonna find. You sell. What'd you say? You sell one of ones.
Ones of ones.
Ones of ones. I love that. Absolutely love that.
So it does make it interesting, like to look at the entire business, right? So we have the in-store and we also have online. So we have one item, but it's selling in 2 different locations. So you're trying to keep up with all of that and keeps the store moving as well too.
We're not fortune tellers, but if you had to kind of anticipate what the next year, 2, 5 year looks like for you here in the Brighton community, what does that future hold for you in Artisan's Bench?
I think I would say at this point, we're really well established. The community knows we are here and has been incredibly supportive of us. You know, the discussion has always been, will there ever be a second Artisan's Bench? And, you know, we've talked about it a ton, and I really always felt like I wanted to do one thing really, really well. I never wanted to like do many things okay. So I think we're going to focus just on how can we do this better and better and better. And you know, we have people that come from all over the place to the store, so I want to keep increasing the experience in the shop. Growth is great, but trying to work on work-life balance a wee bit. It's not working out so well, but I'm trying. But doing what we do really well. That I think is kind of where we're at. So and the website's been growing, so that's nice as well too.
You know, it's even keeping it simple. You know, like even our business, we've been trying to get back to the basics, to be really efficient and effective on everything that we do, and have a better experience for our customers. Different set of customers, but it's the same thing, being very good at simple things. And then just staying focused on those.
I think it was hard during COVID you're just trying to keep up. You're just trying to manage everything that's going on and do it well. And I think sometimes you want to get back to the roots of why did I get into this? What is this? What's our mission, right? So trying to focus on, you know, getting back to that and helping the store continue to change and evolve, which is the part that I get excited about. For me, people coming in, we talk about it, they get as excited and they see that thing and they're like, this is amazing. That's the payoff for me. So that's kind of, I think, will always be our kind of North Star.
And focus on here and be better here, always improve here, which is apparent here in the community, at least of how long I've been seeing it, and Pat's been here. So Brittany, to close out, how can they find you? How can they connect with you? Where are we located? Kind of give them the rundown of the basics.
Online store.
Yeah. So here in person, we're right on Main Street in downtown Brighton, 307 West Main. across from the coffee shop right now.
We can see the mill pond kind of right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're upstairs, you can see the mill pond just over Brighton Coffee House. And online, we're active on Instagram. Try to keep that updated. We're on Facebook as everything is Artisan's Bench, the Artisan's Bench. And then our website is artisansbench.com, where we don't have everything online. That would be nearly impossible. But we do have a lot online. Yeah, it's not the full experience, it's close. But we do have a lot of the shop online.
That's a great point, though. Yeah, don't just focus on the online things. Actually see it if you want to be introduced to the store itself, but that's only a percentage of it. Come in, kind of get the full experience like Colin said. We're not just going to say, hey, we're going to kind of walk you through that experience and try to find that ones of ones that you can take home and give to a loved one for not just the year or the birth year, but for a generation. So,
Awesome.
guys, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was fun.
Always love to come in. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to go look around now.
Yeah, I think that's Pat and my wife's, and probably maybe Tony's favorite part is walking through the store and maybe buying a few things. So, again, thanks for having us. Chris with Palos Real Estate Group. Thanks again for tuning in to another Community Spotlight video. Check out Artisan's Bench, and we'll see you next time.